Ms. Greene.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I agree that third-party litigation that is funded by groups that have interest in these issues is causing many frivolous lawsuits. I want to explain a situation that's happening in politics. Dark money-funded lawfare is waged against candidates, against groups to sway politics and also interfere in elections. On March 24th, 2022, a group called Free Speech for People, which is an ironic name, filed a lawsuit against me using the 14th Amendment to try to remove my name off the ballot in my district in Georgia. This group, Free Speech for People, has received funding from leftist groups like San Francisco Foundation, Kohlberg Foundation, Leonard and Sophie Davis Fund, Overbrook Foundation, Park Foundation, Schumann Media Center, and Cloud Mountain Foundation, and many more. These groups are groups that claim they care about defending democracy, but they funded a group called Free Speech for People that was interested in taking away the free speech of the voters in my district. These groups from San Francisco and New York, all they did was fund a group to interfere in an election in my district in Georgia. On April 22nd, I had to go to court where I took the witness stand defending myself under oath against a lie launched and funded by this dark money group and run by far-left political operatives like David Brock and Norm Eisen. But I won. And it cost me almost $1 million defending myself. And then 1 month later, I had my election day on May 24th, 2022. Well, I want to tell you I won again because the voters in my district voted for me with over 70%. But this is still happening, and it's happening again to interfere in the 2024 election. Last Wednesday, a lawsuit was filed by Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, CREW, to have President Trump removed from Colorado's ballots over claims he violated Section 3 of the 14th Amendment on January 6th. This is the same thing Free Speech for People tried to do with me, and I beat them, and President Trump will beat them as well. CREW was founded in 2003 by Norm Eisen, the same activist that was probably involved funding mine, and Melanie Sloan, to be a progressive watchdog group. Democrat operative David Brock of Media Matters, also well known for the Brock Memo, was chairman of the board of directors from 2014 to 2017. Norm Eisen worked for the ADL in the 80s, investigating anti-Semitism and civil rights violation. He worked on his law school classmate Barack Obama's presidential campaign and then was named special counsel for ethics and government reform in the White House. In 2019, Eisen was appointed consultant to the House Judiciary Committee, where he worked on the first impeachment of President Trump. You can see where this goes, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about politics. Eisen implemented the David Brock blueprint for suing the president into paralysis and his allies into bankruptcy. He helped mainstream and amplify the Russia hoax. He drafted 10 articles of impeachment for the Democrats a full month before President Trump ever called the Ukrainian president in 2018. He personally served as special counsel litigating the Ukraine impeachment. He created a template for internet censorship of world leaders and a handbook for mass mobilizing racial justice protesters to overturn Democratic election results. There is perhaps no man alive with a more decorated resume for plots against President Trump than Norm Eisen. All of these actions were part of the David Brock memo, which outlined how to defeat President Trump through lawfare, funded lawfare. The next step is Eisen and Brock's plan is to take President Trump and his allies out before the presidential election of 2024. They're trying to use January 6th as the reason for filing lawsuits against President Trump in various states, arguing he violated the 14th Amendment and is supposedly guilty of some so-called insurrection that never was, and therefore would be ineligible to run for office. CREW, the organization Eisen founded and Brooke chaired, is one of the main groups devoting funds to this goal. We have to stop funded lawfare by political organizations that want to take away people's freedom of speech to vote for the candidate that they want to vote for. And we also have to stop these dark money funded groups from interfering in elections. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.